Okay, in this video, I'm going to briefly show you or quickly show you how to create a title scene for a game. Currently, I've got a title and I've got a play button. I'll tell you more about that in a second. First thing that I'm going to do is in my canvas, I'm going to set my order and layer to 2. Or 3 or 4 or any number higher than any of the other objects that are in your scene, just so that the canvas is in front of everything else. Next thing I'm going to do is in my canvas, I'm going to right click and I'm going to create an empty game object. I've already done that. And I'm going to title it title screen. That's going to basically be a placeholder for these other objects. I'm going to right click and create a UI object, a UI text object. I've done that already. I've called it title. I've played around with the settings. I've given it the word title. I've increased the font size. I've played around with the overflow and the font and the color and all that, which is all well and good. And then I'm going to add something. I'm going to right click and add a UI panel, which will appear in your scene over here. It's sort of like a rectangle, and I'm basically just going to resize this so that it's larger than my camera, like so. Now, by default, the color is a little bit like foggy. I'm going to go ahead and choose the same color as my main camera. So I'm going to click right here, copy the hexadecimal code right here, exit out of here, go back to my panel, and I'm going to set it as such. I'm going to increase my alpha to 255 just so it's a solid color. Now, UI objects and elements, they sort of are ordered as follows. Like the higher up in the sequence, the further behind it is. So I want my panel behind my text and my button, but inside of the title screen. In order to create a button, right click, create UI button. And then the button comes with a text object inside. So that's where you could change it to say play or something like that. You can also adjust the font just like any other text object. Now the button itself, this is where the magic happens. Here on what I'm going to do is add on-click events. Currently I don't have, currently I have 2, but I'm going to actually remove both of them and show you what you can do. Basically, you're going to click the plus button on the on-click component in the inspector, and then you have none. You have no objects. So basically, I'm going to drag my title screen game object into here. All right, the title screen is housing all of my other UI elements, and I'm going to click on no function game object set active bool, and I'm going to keep it unchecked. So basically, when I click on my play button, it's going to set title screen right here to inactive or turn it off. Okay, now if you look at how that works from the beginning, oops, I hit play before I meant to. Let me pause that there. Let me turn that back on. The way that that would work now is if I press play, I have this title scene in front of everything, and so once it gets into the play mode, if I hit that play button, that is going to inactivate or set active false to the title screen. Now, I'm asking a lot of my computer right now, so it's sort of struggling, but here we go. You can see now if I press that play button, it deactivates, and then I can play my game right here. Now, one thing that you want to keep in mind, though, is that your main character is still going to be falling. So, like, the game could restart, and restart, or you could press play, and then, like, Tommy's, 2 seconds or like a millisecond away from dying. So that's no good. So a way to get around that is to click on your button and then add another on-click event, and we're starting to do the opposite, where I'm going to make Tommy become active when I click play. So game object set active bool, I want that set to true. So in my hierarchy, I'm going to set Tommy to inactive, but when I press play and I enter the play mode, my play button is going to activate him. So at the same time that my title screen game object disappears, Tommy will appear. And so this is how you can create a relatively simple title screen for a Unity game, as you can see right here. Now, it looks a lot better when I don't have screen recorders going and all sorts of different applications open. Thank you.